Welcome to Tales, Tunes, and Tomfoolery starring Jerry Springer, along with Jene Galvin and me. I'm Megan Hills. We're recorded live in front of a brilliant studio audience at the Folk School Coffee Parlor in Ludlow, Kentucky.
My daddy came home
gentlemen, the one, the
every
only
day
Jerry
from
Springer.
there.
Don't get up. No. Don't get up. I want to do that one more time because I want to record it. And what I want to do is attach it to my alarm clock in the morning. So when I wake up, Jerry, get up. That's how you started. What is going on with your effort to set a record in the Guinness Book of World Records,
Are
right?
you still talking
Guinness,
about that?
yeah, Guinness
for
Book
real?
of...
This
yes.
is the craziest
Well,
idea
Megan,
ever.
Megan, it finally has traction because this has been rattling around in my brain for some years now, but I'm committed to setting, not breaking, setting the world record for the number of miles you can put on an unlimited mileage 1 week rental car in 1 week. And I would do it
Dare to
by
dream.
finding, thank you, Megan.
Yeah.
She gets it, dare to dream. Did you hear that? But Megan, that might be the slogan on the side of the car.
Dare to dream.
You
Oh,
want
my.
to set the record.
Right.
Wait, I got it. You rent a car with unlimited mileage.
Yeah, they always say to you it's unlimited mileage.
Okay. And you now want to sign that and then see how many miles you can go in a week with unlimited mileage and
Right.
have that be the record that they put in the Guinness Book of
Submit
Records.
it to the Guinness
What
Book
is
of
the
Records.
point? That is just downright
Thank
stupid.
you. Done. It's no good, Jene.
It's stupid.
It's really stupid.
What do you mean no good? So you, first of all, there is no record. So what record are you breaking?
You
I'm
could
not breaking,
technically-
I'm setting the record.
You
You're
could
and
setting.
just drive around the parking lot and win.
Well,
That's
I don't
true.
know. I've been thinking, you could, see, I like the way you think, Megan, because there are various ways you could do this. You could take a block in Cincinnati where we are in the Cincinnati area and drive 7 straight days around that block, around. That would be very boring, by the way.
Oh, the other is very interesting.
Thank you, because what you would do is you would say, let's go see Devil's Tower. Boom, that's probably, I don't know, 1,000 miles or so.
Yeah.
Then let's go jump down and see Big Sur. Let's run over to New York City. Then, hey.
Who's going to be in the car with you?
Right?
Well, now there's the trick, because I will be in the car, but
Yes.
I have been trying to find 2 good men or women who share my vision, who see
Well,
this as
apparently
important.
your wife doesn't share the vision.
Do any of
I don't
your
hear you
friends
talking about
shit-
taking Bonnie.
Yeah,
Well,
Bonnie's
my
just-
lovely wife is in the audience, and
Yes.
I will be candid with you, and she says no, she will not come on mic.
Cold day
But
in
trust
hell.
me, well, let's just see by a head shake, either sideways or, is it a good idea is this an important record to set? She'll be gone a week? Yes. Oh, she likes that.
Question was, you'll be gone a week?
Well,
didn't
there
hear
you
that.
go.
Yeah, you-
Okay, I think we could
Anyway.
sign Mickey up for the other ride.
So I put this word out there through First Social Media. It's probably going to go on the website also, but we have to talk to some lawyers first. But, and I have put the word out, I'm looking for 2 other drivers. Bam, they start to flood in. 2
what-
of them are here tonight
Are they
in
the only
house.
2?
Oh, no. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, you said they flood in. How
I
many
have-
people
I'm gonna be
responded
honest
to
with
this?
you. Thus far,
Yes.
I have 2 people who are in the audience tonight,
Yes.
prepared, to have a conversation, even
yes.
to do some vetting. And I've had 2 other people.
So,
I have a corporate sponsor.
in a nation of 320 million people, you have 4.
And your
4 million? No.
He's-
4
4.
people.
No, I have 4
And
so
the
far.
2 are
And
here.
his sponsor is the Ludlow
2 here.
City Bus.
And I don't mean to be disrespectful,
I see
but are they
Dr.
ma-
Larry Gray, and I saw a young man named Zach Slemmer. Well, now there's 5. I'm up to 5. I got another one.
And Zach's
Zach
there.
Slemmer, come on in here, Mr. Slemmer. And I believe it's Dr. Gray is
Wait
here.
a second, you're a doctor?
Wow.
You
Maybe,
think this is a
Dr.
good
Gray,
idea?
would you come over to a microphone
You're
here?
not a psychiatrist, are
Come
you?
right behind me and go to that black mic
Yeah,
there.
because
Oh
that's
my
this is
goodness.
ridiculous idea.
Sure.
Hi,
Oh,
Gene.
Megan.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Thank
This
you
is
for
real
coming.
life, huh?
You would, let me just ask, and then you take it over,
no,
Gene.
you
but
do it.
You would literally drive for a week with Jene Galvin. That's the tough part.
I'd be happy as a dead pig in the sunshine.
There you go.
Well, I would say pork up a little bit and go for that.
I've spent a week with Jene, and it's been the highlight of my life several times.
Well, truth be told,
Sir,
we
I'm
have
very
backpacked
sorry.
a little bit in
Oh, I see.
Alaska and Idaho, et cetera.
So
and-
this 4 people that volunteered, basically one of them already is someone you personally know.
Oh, yeah,
So
true.
this is hardly an outpouring of support.
Well, the selection's
Maybe
not
not.
been made yet.
You what?
The selection's not been made.
No. Oh, so you're just in the running.
I'm just in the running.
Would
And-
you call
and
him
by
a
the way-
finalist, though, Jane? Would you call him a
Oh,
finalist?
definitely, Megan. Definitely. You know how we do this, don't you? He's a
Don't you
finalist.
feel guilty? I mean, there are real issues in the world. People are starving. What
See,
what
I-
if someone in Biafra read about this? That you,
See, I don't think things through as well as you do. You're
he is
cheapening
devoting
the
a
idea.
week of his life
Oh, my God.
and his energy
I know.
to getting mileage on
And
in a
this is-
rental.
And here's another thing.
One-
This is your best friend.
Yeah,
What
really.
does
What's
this
to say
say
about you?
Okay, I don't have friends. Have
Hey.
you not seen my show? Why
Let
would
me
I have
ask,
friends?
I'm going to ask Zach Slemmer. Where is Zach? Zach,
There's
if you'll
Zach.
step
He's
over
a
to
nice
the mic
young
right
man.
over
Look at
here.
that.
And let's give a description here. Dr. Gray, and it is Dr. Gray, I know that because when I backpack with him, I've been in Alaska with him, far in the back country, and if I say, his name is Dr. Larry Gray, and if I say, hey, Larry, he'll say, Gene, it's Dr. Gray. He's kind of a prick about that because, and he says, well, look, I worked hard. I went to Wake Forest. Where'd you go? Wake Forest, North Carolina?
Yes. it's-
And worked hard for that degree. Dr. Gray, do you have any moving violations? This is, Megan, these are the questions you have to ask. Do you have
Well,
any
thank you,
moving
Gene.
violations?
A few.
A few. Mrs. Gray, can you corroborate that? She says, yes, he has some
Well, here's
moving
the good
violations.
news. He's still moving, huh?
The other good news is I'm retired, and I've got time to do this, and Lynn would like for my sorry butt to be out of the house a while.
For a week as well.
Well, okay, that I can respect. Now you go to Zach over here.
And Zach,
Don't you
how
have
old
a
are you,
job?
Zach?
I'm not a doctor.
No,
No.
he's not a doctor.
Nor do you
Zach,
play one on podcasts.
Zach, how old are you, if we can ask?
I am 32.
Wow.
32. See, I like that.
That's who you
The
need to
guy
be with,
is
Gene.
not quite
That's who
sure.
you want.
Surprise, surprise, he's not
Yeah.
a doctor.
And yes, you want that as your co-pilot, sir.
A guy who's not quite sure how old he is, the kind of guy
co-pilot.
I want to roll
Yeah,
with for
right.
7 days.
Right.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach,
Yes.
you're a millennial. You're very tech savvy, I'm going to assume.
Oh, yeah,
So you probably have a GoPro or something?
definitely.
All right. What I propose we do, and if it turns out that it's Zach and Dr. Gray, that we
that'd be
roll.
great.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and you're a good guy. I can just tell. And so we would roll 7 days straight in the back seat of the Lincoln Town car rented from, we're not sure yet which rental company.
Fantastic.
Not sure whether we're going to tell them we're doing this.
Okay.
But we are going to check all the legal verbiage. I have a corporate sponsor who will pay for the mileage, the insurance, the food. Are you guys cool with eating all 3
Am I the
meals a
corporate
day?
sponsor?
No. It's
How did I get
No, it's a
started?
bank in town that we know the owner of.
Oh, we know the bank.
Yeah. Well, you're the fallback if he doesn't come through.
When he doesn't answer his phone.
Hey, we're going to even have a helicopter available to us. In fact, you and the guy that's the sponsor might be the chase helicopter.
Oh, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, right. Hey, you guys cool with eating, because this is how you verified in the Guinness Book of Record where you were, when you were there, how many miles you put on. So the gas receipts and the receipts from the restaurants will be the proof. I'm proposing 3 meals a day, McDonald's, 7 days a week, because they're always open. Are you guys okay with that?
No.
Note
He's a
that.
doctor.
Note that.
He's a
The
doctor.
biologist says no to that.
Yeah.
Weird.
How about you, Zach?
I have wanted to get a little bit more in shape, so. I'm
Zach
good.
is on
Because
board.
I'm cool with it too. You all right with that? All right, Dr. Ray, we'll have to
We'll
talk.
alternate with Taco Bell.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I like this. If it's Taco Bell, he's all right.
Yeah, there won't be any
Gene,
more if
is-
Trump's
Is
elected.
narcolepsy an issue?
Well, could be if it's your stint of driving, yeah. could be.
Controlled narcolepsy.
Controlled.
Will
If
that
you're
be
long
an
as you're
issue?
taking your meds, I think we'll be fine.
We're good. We're good.
All right, thank you. Let's hear a round of applause for Larry and Zach. Why do you do this? One word, immortality.
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 Yeah. Well, after
We will be known as those three guys. Because, see, it sounds like a
and if you're in an
college kid
accident,
joke.
there goes the immortality.
Well, we're going to have to load up with some insurance.
Yeah.
We're going to have to really
And-
load up. No, listen, seriously, the way we'll do this, we'll never
Yeah.
break a speed limit
Good for you. Good
rule,
for you, Gene.
law.
Yes. Oh,
We will
this is
drive, we will
wonderful.
stay only on interstate highways. We will see all things as a drive-by. Devil's Tower, across the horizon, you'll see, a few inches of it above the horizon.
Yeah, what do you see from an interstate?
I've seen
Exit
Devil's Tower
signs.
from an interstate. Asked my daughter Lindsay and my wife, we did a trip across country, and I said, we're going to see Devil's Tower. Oh, I've
There
always
it
wanted to
goes.
see that. We pulled off on I-90, and I said, there it is. And they said, dude, are you kidding me? That's it? That's what we're going to see?
I don't see Bonnie saying, dude, are you kidding me?
Well, Lindsay may have. Anyway, thanks for the support, guys. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
we're all behind you.
Hey, Megan,
Jane.
I got the greatest email
Yeah?
yesterday.
Do tell.
Has to do with Jerry Springer.
It's our favorite topic.
Do you remember he had a colonoscopy?
I do.
And oh, no, it came out fine. Let's hear it for Jerry's colon. It came out fine.
It was a proud day
Let's,
at the podcast.
and I mean this really, let's not go there again.
Yeah. Well, check this out.
Proud day for
Do you
all.
remember they?
It was unlimited mileage.
It was
I'll tell you
unlimited.
that.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you have no idea.
Do you remember they gave you? Some,
I don't remember anything. They put
That's
you
the
under.
point. They put you under.
Yes, they do.
Got this email from a woman named Carolyn Evers, and she was one of the attending nurses. You wouldn't
What?
remember this. Got this email.
What is she doing in there?
She said she wasn't in there. She was,
I mean, in the room.
I don't know.
there were two attending nurses. She sent an email saying, hey, you might think this is a cute story, but I listened to your podcast. Jerry does a lot of jokes about hearing impaired. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said that the second attending nurse, the doctor, and she said she has sort of a hearing problem. She's very vain, won't wear hearing aids, become an issue. Doctor whispered something to her, Jerry. She left the room, came back a few minutes later, and put a beer on the table with the instruments they were using. The doctor then said, no, 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 no. I didn't ask for a Bud Light. I asked for a butt light.
I can't.
And you had to bring me into
Wait,
this
I can't
whole
I had to
setup.
set it up.
He is so proud of himself. He is tearing up. He liked that so much. That was
I
the
didn't
worst
make up
thing.
the joke,
I have-
Megan.
I've never heard
I
anything
stole
worse in my
it.
entire life.
I
Mr.
stole it off the
Galvin.
internet, but I needed to set it up.
He is literally tearing. You are so proud of yourself.
I'm embarrassed I couldn't get through without laughing. Hey, we claimed last week you were
We claimed last.
on another voyage.
I was not here.
That's
but
right. This is your once a month
my
visit.
one, yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Show up once a month, say hey.
Where were you really?
I was actually in the great city of Louisville, Kentucky, attending an
Good city.
HR convention, a regional HR convention. I know, it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody calm down. We
Seriously.
can talk about it afterwards.
When you're at an HR, human resources convention, and you tell people that you work with me.
I don't. I can honestly say you did not come up one time.
That's
that-
actually not true.
That's true, because that's right.
That is-
Is that so you can keep your job?
Exactly, so I can continue to attend these HR conventions.
I'm
Jerry.
getting an arm wave from David Pruce, our technical producer over here. What's up?
Yeah, we have a telephone call from someone that's complaining about the podcast.
What's her name?
How could that be?
I'm not sure. She said that she's called in before and she wants to talk to us one more time.
Let's bring her on, don't you
Yeah,
think? Because
whoever
we're
she is.
risk takers. We don't care. Bring her on.
Who is it?
Hello? Oh my gosh, you know who that is?
No.
Susie, is this Susie Sampson?
You bet it is.
Oh, Susie Sampson, you met her at the convention.
She was the right-wing lady at the convention. Oh, she didn't know the
That's-
words to God Bless
Oh,
America.
that's the one that didn't know the words to
Yeah.
God Bless America.
I didn't
No,
do that
excuse
well
me. I
either.
knew the words. They're printed on my heart.
Oh, she was doing the words from her heart, she said, not the official words.
Yeah, we couldn't hear your heart.
Thing, and the person
Well-
who wrote the song, but anyway.
That's your law.
Yes.
Yes.
We understand. And by the way, for our listeners hearing this for the first time, Susie Sampson, we met at the Democratic Convention.
Yep.
She's very conservative, right, Jerry?
Yeah, she's a right-wing Republican, and I was asking her what she's doing at the Democratic Convention. And what did you tell us? You just want to keep an eye on us?
Well, of course. Absolutely. All of you sinners in one place, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, you know, Miss Sampson.
Probably a good time. Yeah. You get a whole bunch of sinners in one place.
We have
What's the negative?
someone
Yeah.
who, I'll give you her name, Denise Compton,
Oh, yeah.
who kind of.
Oh,
Do you know
that
her?
lady.
Oh my gosh, you know her?
Of course. Who doesn't know Denise in the worst way possible?
Oh my
Why?
gosh.
Wait, she's a right-wing conservative just like you.
And how do you know her?
She's just not as good as me. That's all.
I'll be darned.
Oh.
You got a little
Well,
catfight
yeah, it
going on.
almost sounds
In
like
fact-
there's a.
I know you do some work with her, but I really think you're barking up the wrong tree. You should be working with me. I, alone, can help you.
Oh,
Oh, so you're proposing that you become our new Denise Compton?
You want us to dump her?
wow.
No, I'm not the new Denise. I'm the first Susie.
Oh, got it. So this is, see, now that's interesting, Megan and Jerry. We didn't know this.
Yeah.
We thought when Denise, by the way, for the listeners, Denise Compton watches over our podcast with the constant threat that she's going to take to the Congress, which is a conservative Congress,
Yeah.
and tell
To try to
them
get us off
be-
podcast because we're
too liberal.
corrupting.
Don't
We're
show-
too
yeah,
liberal.
we don't have a fair and balanced mix.
Yeah. But then we
Wow.
reminded
Well, sure.
her that we were in America, and she
Right.
forgot.
Yeah, she had forgotten that. Well, Susie, well, maybe we do need to talk because maybe you're an easier person to work with.
You know, you say yes to the last person you talk to.
Right.
Whoever comes
Denise
in,
is
oh,
going to
yeah.
lose it.
I'm trying to get my Social Security, so I'm always afraid I'm going to lose my gig. I'll tell you what, Susie, I'll call you and we'll talk. And thank you for checking in with us. We appreciate it.
No. Let's be very clear here. What needs to happen? I can help you navigate the Congress, and I can assist you all while still demeaning you on a regular basis.
Says she's like a lobbyist. She would help us navigate this whole right-wing turbulent waters thing. When-
Yes, but don't worry. I still don't like you.
Okay, that's fair. She's being honest.
Yeah. And I mean this in the kindest way, but are you drinking?
Am I drinking? No. I do have a little bit of I have a Hillary hat these days.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
Very serious.
No. She doesn't like cocaine. She just likes the way it smells.
Oh, see, now that's not funny. Don't put that on her. That's not fair to Susie.
I
Sampson.
do
Never
not
say
do
something
drugs.
like that.
Drugs are the bastion of sinners like you. We all know you did some drugs, Jerry.
Only Metamucil.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
We can attest
That's
to
what
that.
you want to keep telling yourself.
guys.
Metamucil my foot.
Yeah. All right, Denise.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Denise.
We
Thank you
we
very
will
much.
talk. I will talk
That's
with her.
not Denise.
That's
That-
not
Pardon
We
me.
better
Now, see,
talk.
that's the
I'm
mistake
not
you made.
here.
Susie Sampson, I apologize.
Thank you, Susie.
Bye, Susie.
Bye, Susie.
Bye. I'll
Bye.
talk to you soon.
All right, we love you. See, that's, we
She
got,
opened up a can of worms is what she
I'm
did.
afraid we have.
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry,
Yes, Gene?
tell us about, I'm going to kind of spring this on you, but what happened with your father's car, your father, God rest his soul? By the way, you have Bishmoka in the house.
Yeah, it's mishmocha. It's not bishmocha. You will never be a Jew. I don't care how long you apply and how much you offer to contribute to Jewish
Sure.
welfare fund.
Failed. He just
Mushbocha. Yes, the mother
It's-
of my son-in-law
It's,
is in the audience
first of
with
all,
her friends.
It's Bishmoka.
It's Mushbocha.
And Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava. Now I wouldn't know that if I didn't know everything about Hebrew and everything else. Okay, so you have some family in the house.
we apologize.
This
to
is suddenly
everyone.
the largest temple in Ludlow.
Yeah, right. Boy, right on to that.
All of a sudden.
Hey, I'll tell you what, when Catfish becomes, not mayor, when he becomes city councilman,
Yeah.
Catfish, who is the owner of Folk School Coffee Parlor, we're going to make a change about that. He's going to love having that on his platform. Hey, I tell you what, your father one day stopped driving.
Yeah, well,
Tell us about that
this.
and your part in it.
Yeah, actually, it's a really serious story, and it relates to the whole issue in a sense of immigration. Why I get so ticked off at someone like Trump, who the position on immigration is pure bigotry, and it's also scary, really scary, to people, for example, who are Hispanic, for people who look Hispanic, and because it brings back notions of what a police state is. I have a cousin, Erica. She's 88, 89 years old. She's my only cousin. Her mother and my mother were sisters, and they were in Germany, and most of our family was exterminated in the camps there. But she was born there, so you can figure out if she's born in 1927. By 1938, the year they finally got out, she was 11 years old. So she has these memories. And the Gestapo, they lived in Berlin, and the Gestapo was coming around at night and grabbing the men and taking them away to camps. And so here she is, a young girl, like all the other Jewish kids, scared to death because at night she would hear banging on the doors down the hall. And every kid, every night was a nightmare because anytime you heard a noise, you thought it was the soldiers coming to get you, and they were next door or 2 doors down. So there was constant fear. And it could turn you neurotic. And what they did, what she explains to me, she lives in New York now, what she explains to me is that her dad and my dad would spend nights in a different apartment because they didn't, if the Gestapo was coming to grab them, they didn't want that to happen with Erica there, with her daughter there. They didn't want the child to see that. So the men would stay in different places, constantly moving around, but never in the same home. And sometimes they would send Erica to stay with another aunt, so in case the Gestapo came and grabbed them, she wouldn't see it. And I started thinking about when Trump gave his speech last week of extreme vetting, and we will find the people that are here illegally. Remember, if you're looking for people that are illegal, you're going to oftentimes run into someone who is legal. Or imagine a family where maybe when mom came over, she doesn't have the right papers. But the kid was born in America, dad was born in America, and now that kid goes to sleep every night thinking that that the police are going to come because Trump is talking about increasing this force that it's going to come and look for the illegal immigrants. They're going to be afraid that these soldiers are going to come or police are going to come and take away mom. Imagine being a kid every night worried about that. It is the most inhuman, disgusting, filthy thing someone can think of, and this is a presidential candidate. As far as I'm concerned, there are no other issues. Anybody that mean, that insensitive, 11 million people that don't have the right papers, recognizing that 10,950,000 of them probably were just loving parents that were looking for a life, looking for a better life for their kids, and they would do whatever they can. Which one of us would not do everything we could for our family? And then here you have Trump with that kind of thought. That gets to the story of my dad, who obviously lived through the same thing, and he lost his parents, you know, his brother as well, cousins. I mean, we lost a whole bunch of people. So now you go 40 years in the future. It's now the early 1980s. Mom and Dad are living in New York. Dad's about 78 years old at the time. And my dad was very short. I mean, he wasn't even 5'2" at his tallest. And as he got older, he was shorter and shorter. So I'm betting he was 5 feet at this point. And when he drove his Chevy, because Dad was like a vendor, made stuffed animals and sold them on the boardwalks of New Jersey and New York, and you know, in little toy shops. And he would put all the stuffed animals, all his merchandise, in the back seat of the car and in the trunk, and covered with a blanket. And so, and then he would have to sit on a pillow, and he would literally look through the steering wheel to drive. And obviously, as he got older, you know, it's reflexes. He was a horrible driver towards the end. And Mom was scared to death to go in the car with him. So every time I'd come home from Cincinnati, where I was living and doing the news at that time, it was after I was mayor, you know, Mom would often talk to me and say, I can't go in the car with Dad. Would you tell him, please sell the car? And the car was kept, and Gene, you've seen where we lived in the apartment complex. Right across the street, there's another apartment with a driveway, and that's where the car was kept. And honestly, he had not driven it for about a year. But Mom was still scared because she always had to talk him out of going in it. So she says, Gerald, I came home for the holidays. Gerald, could you talk to Dad and get him to sell the car? So, you hate to get in the middle of something between your mom and Dad, but I did. I sat down with Dad and I said, Dad, you don't drive the car anymore. Mom's a wreck. You know, you're making her nervous. Why don't you just sell it? And he said to me, which shocked the hell out of me, he said, I'll sell it when I'm 80. And he was 78, 79. I'm going to sell it when I'm 80. But I want to keep it till then. Because you never know when you have to get away. And I'm thinking, I've known my dad obviously my whole life. He was a very bright man, totally rational. I mean, there was no emotion with Dad. Mom was emotional like me, would cry during Bambi. But Dad was straightforward. And just very calmly, he says, I mean, it just seemed like the craziest thing in the world. We're living in the United States of America. This is 1982, 1983. And he's living in America since 1949. And he's saying to me, keeping his car because you never know when you have to get away. That must have stuck with him, those nights in Berlin. It was so ingrained in him, and he never shared that story. The story I told you about my cousin Erica, I didn't find out until a couple of years ago, long after my parents died. So it's like, God, can you imagine living your life every day? And even when you're in America and you think everything is cool here and we don't have to worry, it'll never happen here. And now suddenly, someone like Trump could be president of the United States. I don't want to overreact, but I got to tell you, nobody thought it would happen in Germany. It was the most cultured, educated society in the Western world. If we don't stop it at its very start, every time it rears its ugly head just for a second, this whole argument about immigration. I mean, how many of us really are going to have horrible lives if someone from a different country gets citizenship or lives here or doesn't have the right papers yet? Really? Does anyone go to sleep at night saying, oh, we can't have another Hispanic here? I mean, it's just so mean, so horrible. Do we think just because people were born in a different country that they don't love their children? They don't want to be happy? They don't cry when they're upset? I mean, it's just the most indecent thing you can do. And the media ought to go after him for that. It's not about liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republicans, none about that. It's what kind of a human being are you? How can you be okay breaking up these families? How can you be okay being against someone because they happen to be born a Muslim? Who decides to whom they're going to be born? None of us got to choose to be born, to whom we'd be born, in what religion we'd be born into. None of it. So stop judging people based on those kind of things that you have nothing to do with. People that say, I'm proud to be a white American. You're lucky to be one. Well, what do you had nothing to do about being born in America. You weren't involved in the decision. So why do you take personal pride? I thank God I live in America. But am I proud that I did something wonderful? No. I went along with Mom and Dad that came over here. They were happy to come here, considering where they came from. So I've gone on long enough. But this issue of immigration is so much bigger than an election. It's about who we are as a country, who we are as a people. This is not a referendum on Donald Trump. It is a referendum on us.
That's a powerful story. Powerful story. Thanks for telling it. And we don't mean to put you into emotional conditions that are, we just don't mean to, but it's an important message. Thanks for telling it. Hey, before we bring on the Rubber Knife Gang, a musical group that we love, this is their second time to our podcast. Jerry, would you be willing to
No.
make a couple? We've gone from stupid material, that
Yes,
was me,
yeah.
Real stupid.
to powerfully emotional material, and this is a little more intellectual maybe and political, but with the passing of Phyllis Schlafly,
Yes.
88 or so, I'm trying to remember, 92. Make a couple comments before we hear from the Rubber Knife Gang on how we all, of course we all from the human side feel
Sure.
for the family when they have a lost loved one, so we get that. But there's been a lot of talk about Phyllis Schlafly's political importance, cultural importance. Make a couple comments on it, if you would.
Well, yeah, I'll start off by saying it's sad when anybody dies. And, you know, she was 92, so it's no help to the family to say, well, she lived a long life. You know, it's sad. And I'm assuming she was a good wife, a good mother, good grandmother. So personally, it's sad, and we offer condolences. But I don't think, therefore, we should honor her cause, because I would argue that her cause was horribly destructive. She had written the book, A Choice, Not an Echo, which was the book that became the Bible for the right wing back in the early 60s, and which was the basis of Barry Goldwater's run for the presidency. And she became most known for leading the fight against passage in 1972 of the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment. So I have the same view of her work, as I do of, people that wave the Confederate flag. If you had someone in your family generations ago that fought on the side of the Confederacy, we can honor their valor, their courage, and the sadness that they were killed, but you would find it hard to honor their cause, slavery. I mean, I don't want to honor the cause of being against the Equal Rights Amendment for women, because the damage that she caused in the movement that she led for a whole generation of American women, it slowed their opportunities, their chance to have great opportunities in America, more so than they had. So young women today, frankly, maybe don't appreciate it, because they're, if you're 20-something, you just assume, yeah, I'm a woman, I'll be whatever I want to be. Yeah, I'll be a doctor, I'll be an astronaut, I'll be whatever you want to be. Well, Jene, when you and I were young, if you were a woman, if you weren't going to be a housewife or a stay-at-home mom, the chances are, there are exceptions, but generally your options were become a teacher, become a nurse, become a librarian.
Secretary.
And secretary.
Yep.
And that was basically it.
That's it.
And that was what, and it wasn't that the government said you could only do that. Parents were even saying that. If the parents had a son, my son's going to be the doctor, you're going to this, you're going to this college, you're going to that. And if you had a daughter, I want you to find a good husband. There was a lot of that. And that was part of the culture. And if you think about how unfair that is, that women didn't have all the options available to them. So the Equal Rights Amendment, more than anything legally, the whole point of the amendment was to open up the consciousness to all America that says, wait a second, if you're a young girl, you can have all the opportunities that are given to young boys. And then you go to the specific issues, equal pay and no harassment in the workplace and stuff like that. We still have the male-dominated society that this stuff goes on. So that was her life's work, that cause. Why would you make your life's work anything which limits the freedom of human beings? Pick a cause, anything. Unlimited mileage on your Reynolds. But don't...
Doesn't have to be a good idea.
Yeah, but don't pick a cause, something that... In other words, there is a conservative point of view. And I don't share it, but I understand it. And it's a fair, mature... We can argue and debate over whether, how we should fund schools, how we should fund health care, how we should deal with infrastructure. We can have a liberal and a conservative response to that. But in America, the one thing that shouldn't even be a debate, and this is where conservatives fail, because historically they always start out on the wrong side of these social issues. They always start out supporting slavery, start out against Social Security, against Medicare, against organized labor, against women's rights, against gay rights. Whatever the freedom is, they always start out on the wrong side, which is stupid, which is why they're in turmoil now, and why there's no real conservative running for president of the United States. If you're a Republican, what the hell are you going to do? You can be a loyalist and say, well, I'll hold my nose and vote for Trump. Really? You don't have a conservative running for president. You have an idiot. A nice man, but an idiot. So her life, yes, condolences, and it's sad when a human life is lost. But I cannot honor the work she did. She was one of the leading anti-communists. Well, wait a second. What is it that you didn't like about communism? Isn't that they took away freedoms? So why are you you say you're against communism because it's against freedom, and then here in America, you're perfectly willing to limit the freedom of women. I don't get it.
All right, that's a good analogy. There's so much being said about her impact, and that's brutally honest, Jerry, take on it, and one that's, I'm sure, shared by a lot of us progressives/liberals. Rubber Knife Gang. Let's hear it for the Rubber Knife Gang. They're here fresh off an appearance at the Whispering Beard Folk Festival, Friendship, Indiana, which was, I guess, a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and a great regional and growingly important folk festival. And the Rubber Knife Gang are a trio from Cincinnati, and we're going to ask them to do a song and then chat with them for a second.
Lost, lovers left me lost, deep down in that canyon by the one who put me down. Found, I'd like to be found, climb up on the rocks and get my feet on solid ground. Calling, all I hear is your echo. Crawling back to where I heard your name, but you're gone and you only left the shadow of a cloud overhead that's bringing any rain. Hands, got blood on my hands from all of the thorns I crawl across along the way. Pain, heavy on my head, bending bow backwards, never seen a better day. Calling, all I hear is your echo. Crawling back to where I heard your name, but you're gone and you only left the shadow of a cloud overhead that's bringing any rain. Lost, lovers left me lost, deep down in that canyon by the one who put me down. Found, I'd like to be found, climb upon the rocks and get my feet on solid ground. Calling, all I hear is your echo. Crawling back to where I heard your name, but you're gone and you only left the shadow of a cloud overhead that ain't bringing any rain, and now I'll never be the same.
That's the Rubber Knife Gang. That's John Oakes, Todd Wilson, and Henry Becker. And you can hear their music at therubbernifegang.com. And your latest album is Broken Lines, correct?
Yes.
And that song is called Bringing Rain.
It's the first track off the CD.
All right. And you guys, so you were at Whispering Beard. You do some touring as well?
We're currently touring right now. We're on our way up to Chillicothe to play Steiner Speakeasy, and then up to play a street festival in Ohio City, Cleveland.
Yeah, nice. And you've got a second song for us called
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Do it, please.
Okay, well, this one's off of our second CD, and I think you guys are going to like it. All right, I'm going to start it over. Well, I've been working all week, swinging that hammer all day. I kicked up my feet, I ain't gonna work till Monday. My honey's sleeping on my money, there ain't nothing I need. Praise the Lord, pass the weed. Ramble down to my buddy's house, that's where the parties all start. Hell, you know we're all getting old, we're all falling apart. But when that bullshit gets deep, there's no place I'd rather be. Praise the Lord. Pass the weed.
Why'd they think we'd like this, Megan?
Well, there's a certain congregation of folks that think that it's all right. And I'd be willing to bet that some were gathered in a circle tonight, singing this little light of mine is all that I need.
Praise the Lord. Pass the weed. Pass it around. Now she's a floozy of a lady, but she's got a real kind heart. Picks you up when you're feeling low, give you a whole new start. But when you think you got her cornered, she's out walking the streets. Praise the Lord. Pass the weed.
Well, there's a certain congregation of folks that think that it's all right. And I'd be willing to bet that some were gathered in a circle tonight, singing this little light of mine is all that I need.
Praise the Lord. Pass the weed. Well, I guess it's just my dumb luck, but I'll be okay. Hell, you know we're gonna be alright here in the USA. I quit my job last week when they tested my pee. Praise the Lord. Pass the weed. Praise the Lord. Pass the weed.
You know, when you said we're going to sing Praise the Lord, I'm thinking people listening to this are saying, oh, isn't that nice? You know? Yeah, see? You know, they're not
still
that
saying
left
that, though,
wing. They're middle America. And then,
That's a great song. Who wrote that song?
I actually did, yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago did you write that? Is that recent?
I think I wrote it in 2010. So things are starting
But you
to
wouldn't
change
remember.
right now, aren't they? Actually, Jerry,
He's not doing that crazy stuff like
Yeah.
Metamucil, you know?
He lays off the hard
Wait a minute,
stuff.
Jerry doesn't smoke Metamucil. He mainlines it.
It's just
We
the
don't want
line.
to talk about how it goes in. No.
Yeah, the line isn't where you think it is.
Back to that colonoscopy stuff.
I guess that's a new kind of way to try
I don't
it.
know.
I don't know.
How did you, what's the history of this group? You guys are out of Cincinnati. Did you know each other from school or neighborhood, or how did it happen?
No, we all grew up in different places. I moved around Ohio my whole life and ended up where I was born back in Cincinnati. And I met John through family and friends, and we started playing around a bonfire pit. And then Willie showed up, and they used to play together back in the older days before I'd met him, and we got together. Once he bought a bass, we pretty much were kind of like, well, that's kind of like the missing piece to the puzzle. We'll start a band.
You know, briefly, there was a show the other night on PBS, two of them actually, Jerry, and I wondered if you had ever seen them. They do them around fundraising time, and one is about the history of folk music and the commercial period of the Kingston Trio, Limelighters forward. So that would be the 50s, late 50s through the 60s. So Judy Collins was the MC
One
of
of my
it,
parents'
along with the
favorites.
Smothers Brothers. So you
Yeah.
guys know about them.
Uh-huh.
And the music that they were doing, and they did this show 5 or 10 years ago, and they just keep dragging it out for the fundraising thing. But these guys sound so close to all those trios
Oh,
back then. This
absolutely.
music really has moved forward
Yeah.
from the time that we were in high school, college, and beyond. And the harmonies, the instrumentation, stand-up basses were big back then.
Yeah.
They're part of this style of music. So it's really interesting to watch and hear, and you guys are as good as they were back then, so we compliment you.
Yeah.
Very, very good sound, professional, well-written. Would you take us out on Irene Goodnight and let Jerry Springer, who has not yet taken his Metamucil, so he'll be here throughout the song.
Hopefully it's orally.
Yeah, right. But if he'll
Here's to hoping.
jump in on the second verse.
Here's to hoping.
Here we go.
Chase it with a Bud Light.
Wait, let me adjust my pillow.
We didn't know about your pillow. You gave it away.
Go ahead.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream. Stop your rambling. Stop your game. Oh, we're
Here we
pouring
go,
rehearsed
Jerry
on that.
Springer.
Praise the Lord.
Show's over. We'll insert
forgot.
another group for that.
This is what happens when you don't take your Metamucil.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, you all come back now, you hear?
How about that?